guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Today I'm gonna go over how flight attendants get paid. I've had quite a few questions on my Instagram DMs and in the comments below my videos asking how the pay works, because obviously it's different than, like, we don't work a 40-hour week. We work like a certain amount of hours each week. So I'm gonna kind of give you all like a general idea of how pay works. I don't want to go too much in detail of, like, I probably will honestly, but just know by watching this, everybody works different. So you could have things at some airlines that some airlines don't have. But generally, I think the idea of how we get paid, the broader idea of how we get paid, I think it's pretty much the same. So yeah, I'm also going to go over travel benefits at the end of this video. So stay tuned and keep watching for that. But I hope these tips help you understand how we get paid. It's a little bit complicated, but I think you'll be able to get the picture. So yeah, keep watching. Y'all, so we're gonna get right into it. I have my little notebook here with all my notes to follow along. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. But first I'm gonna explain how hourly versus per diem works. So hourly means it's your block time, meaning the time that you block in, meaning the door shuts, to the time that the door opens. So I'm gonna put an example right here. If you don't have this app and you are a flight attendant, get this app because I love it to death. Crewline, shout out to Crewline, whoever came up with it. I want to say it's a flight attendant from my airlines. I'm almost positive that's true, but shout out to you because this app is amazing, like with tracking everything. But anyways, fast forward. So in this flight, you can see that my trip started at 8:45 and it ended, we landed and the door opened at 11:38. So that's 3 hours and 53 minutes. So my hourly was, I got paid for 3 hours and 53 minutes because that's your block time. Sometimes it'll be over that because, like, my airline, they pay you like from 30 minutes after, just to account for like the time it took you to get to the hotel, if you had a layover and things like that, or just if things go wrong, like you had to deplane, all that good stuff. So all of that counts in your hourly pay. Now, per diem is how much you get paid during layovers. It's called time away from base, so that's basically a layover. So if you go on a layover, let's say you have an 11-hour layover, your time away from base, I'm just gonna give you an estimate because I honestly don't even know what my time away from base is, but let's say your time away from base is $2.50. That means you're getting paid $2.50 for every layover hour. So if you have, let's keep the math easy here. We're gonna do the math over here. If you have this amount, that'll give you your time away from base. So yeah, that's basically like the simple version of how like general pay works. Like I said, every airline has its different points, but generally that's how it works. Next, I'm gonna go over overtime. So for my airline, overtime counts over, I want to say it's 80 hours. Yeah, so after you've hit 80 hours, you start getting overtime, and that's time and a half. We also have what is called holiday pay. So on your major holidays, you get holiday pay, which it's either time and a half or 200%. I'm not 100% sure. I think it's time and a half, if I'm not mistaken, but it could be 200%. So during that time, that just means if you work during that day, your hourly goes to time and a half instead of being your regular hourly pay. All right, next we're gonna talk about, we get paid for what's called credit cards. So credit cards, if you've been on a flight and you've seen your flight attendants, they do the announcement and they say, you know, hey, we have this card from our airline, and tells you all the perks and the travel perks. We get paid for that. So that's why, you know, you'll see some who are more enthusiastic than others because you can make quite a few bucks off of that. So for every application we turn in, we get $5 just for turning it in. Whether it gets approved, whether it's not approved, we get $5 for that. Then if the application is approved, then we get $50 added to our paycheck per application. So you're looking at, you can make $55 per approved application that was turned in. And that of course adds up. So definitely if that's something that your airline has, take advantage of it because it does add up. Like I've seen it on my paychecks to where it's like, oh, I made, this amount during Cloud Cash this week. That's what we call it, Cloud Cash. So yeah, that's awesome. Then and like I said, other airlines have like other things that they may do. I'm just giving you what kind of mine does. Then I'm going to talk a little bit about deductions. So we have uniform deductions, taxes, and then travel benefits. So uniform deductions are, you may not have it or you may. It depends on if you paid for your uniform flat out, or if you like had it to come out of your paycheck. So every month you can have a certain amount come out of your paycheck. I think like it's $25 every month until you've paid it off. That way you don't have to come out of pocket like right up front for your paycheck or for your uniform, I'm sorry. You can just take it out, have it taken out of your paycheck. So that's one deduction. The other is taxes, just your general government taxes. And then you have your medical, if you sign up for medical benefits, which I definitely recommend because as a flight attendant or just being in the aviation industry in general, the medical benefits are wonderful. But they take out, the taxes for that. And then, it's not taxes for it, but you pay, the certain amount for that, which isn't much. And then you have travel benefits. So this means if you go out of the country, or you use your buddy passes or whatever you do, it'll cut like a certain amount or percentage. I think the taxes of it comes out of your check, but it's only for international flights. It's not for like just domestic flights, for my airline. So yeah, that's how that works. Now, keeping it going, that's pretty much how pay works. It's not really that complicated, but it is different than, like I said, a regular 9 to 5 week. Generally in a month, I'm gonna say for my airline, you work about 80 to 100 hours a month, and then you may have like 270 something time away from base pay. So per diem, you probably have at least like 270 something hours. So you can kind of calculate that and kind of play with the numbers to kind of see maybe what you're looking at as far as yearly goes. Now, let me say this. For my airline, we have a contract, we're unionized, and our contract says that after 6 months, your pay goes up, and then after a year, your pay goes up, and then every year after that, your pay goes up. So, and then like every year of the contract, your pay goes up. So, it's different for every airline. That's why I said I don't want to go too much in detail, but like with our contract, we get a raise every year, which is awesome because I mean, how many jobs can you say that you get like a raise every year? And it's not like a little like BS raise, like it's a good solid raise. So yeah, like that's wonderful. That's why seniority is so important in this industry, and like it's great if you stick it out. Like some people say the first year is hard, and it can be, like it definitely can be, especially with people who have to pay for crash pads, and you're paying for commuting, and you're paying for food while you're out, and you're paying when you're on layovers and stuff like that. Like it can add up, but the pay gets great. Like the longer you stay in, the pay gets amazing. So that's why so many people stay in for so long. All right, lastly, I'm gonna get into travel benefits. So travel benefits, I'm sure, is different from every airline. Like I said, for us, it's one of like the biggest reasons I feel like people get into the aviation industry is because you fly for free. And who doesn't love free? So I fly for free. You can pick one travel companion. That can be anybody that you choose to fly for free. Now, granted, if you have a partner or a spouse like that you're married to, or it's called a domestic partner, that becomes your travel companion. I'm not married, so my boyfriend is my travel companion. But yeah, that's just how that works. Like, you get to pick one person. Some people pick their friends, some people pick their sisters, brothers, because your siblings don't fly for free. Now, your parents do fly for free. So my mom flies for free. And basically you fly standby. Now, standby is a weird, tricky subject. So it's all about checking the loads for that airline that you're commuting or flying on. We fly, as a flight attendant commuting, I can fly any airline from the jump that my airline partners which is most of them. I can fly any of them for free on standby. But there's a priority list based on who you're flying. So if I fly with my own airline, of course, like, I'm top priority. Versus if I fly with a different airline, you get a different priority level. So a lot of people do like to commute with their own airline because you can check the loads, meaning how many people are on the flights, and kind of see, oh, is this flight full, or is it not so full, or is it oversold? Like, you can kind of check those things ahead of time. Standby tickets are not confirmed tickets. Again, write it down, stamp it, do whatever you got to do. I think some people get confused about that. We fly for free, but standby tickets are not confirmed tickets. Meaning, you could go to the airport. This happened when me and my boyfriend went to Columbia. We flew from Atlanta to Fort Lauderdale, and then we were supposed to fly from Fort Lauderdale to Columbia. We had tickets. They weren't confirmed tickets. It was still standby, but we had seats for both flights. We got them in Atlanta. We get to Fort Lauderdale, waiting for that flight. The flight's delayed for 5 hours, and then they ended up downsizing the plane. So guess who doesn't get a seat anymore, because now the plane that once held 228 people is only holding 182 people. We didn't get on that flight, so we had to wait until the next day and catch the flight to Columbia. If you haven't watched the Columbia video, I talk about it in there. Go check it out. But we made it either way. If they hadn't downsized the plane, we would have made it that day, but things happen, and you just kind of have to prepare for that. Especially if you're a commuter, you really have to prepare for that, because things will happen. And if you're not, I commute out of Atlanta. It's a pretty big airport. You have lots of options going places, but if you are commuting out of somewhere that doesn't have a lot of options, it can make commuting life hell. I will say that it can be hard just commuting out of Atlanta. So commuting, that's why a lot of people say, like, oh, I don't understand how commuters do it, because it can be a nightmare sometimes. But that's kind of how our travel benefits work. So after 6 months with my airline, my people on my travel benefits, so my mom and my boyfriend, they can fly any airline as well for free, but it has to be after your probation is over, which is 6 months for us. So, and like I said, you just pay domestic flights, you don't pay anything, and then international flights, you pay the taxes. So it's pretty, like, amazing, I will say that, because we went to Columbia, and you don't have to pay, like anything. You're basically going, you're just paying for a hotel. And then that doesn't include, like, we get hotel discounts and car discounts and attraction discounts, like all kind of discounts as a flight attendant. So that's why it's a lot of perks of being in this industry for sure, especially if you do love to travel. Definitely recommend it. I think you'll love it, because it makes traveling a lot less expensive, especially when you are going international, because that can get quite pricey. But yeah, I hope this video helped. I don't want to ramble too much. I hope this video helped with all of you asking about how pay works and how travel benefits work. If you have any more questions, comment down below, send me a DM on Instagram. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I really appreciate all of you all for joining the Flight Life family. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.